a Nigerian banker. Now, when y'all sent this to me, when you see a lot of these things, I'm going to be honest with you. When I see anything Nigerian inside of my email, I automatically get skeptical. No, listen, there's no Nigerian prince that's going to send you $300 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever I see anything labeled Nigerian, unfortunately, it's that PTSD, a Nigerian come through my email box, the first thing that I say to myself is, I ain't even going to bother with this. I don't even want to open up this email. But then I start seeing it on my algorithm. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? And then I did a little bit of digging and I did a little bit of research. And so I want to share this with you. Apparently, a Nigerian executive from a bank was him and basically 6 people passed away in a helicopter crash on their way to the Super Bowl. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Check out this story, y'all.
We are following developing news now. The CEO of one of Nigeria's largest banks was killed in yesterday's helicopter crash near the California-Nevada border.
A total of 6 people died when the helicopter went down in the Mojave Desert. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos live in our news center with the latest information we're learning about those victims and also the investigation. Annie Rose.
Lauren and Megan, good morning to you both. Well, 2 pilots and 4 passengers were in that helicopter that took off from Palm Springs Friday night, crashing in the middle of the Mojave. Among those killed, the CEO of one of Nigeria's largest banks and his wife and his son, all on their way to the Super Bowl. All right, we want to bring up a map here of exactly where this happened so you can check this out. The helicopter going down just south of Interstate 15, about 75 miles northeast of Barstow. It took off from Palm Springs Airport around 8:45 Friday night and was en route to Boulder City, Nevada, outside of Las Vegas. According to victims' friends, the passengers were headed to the Super Bowl. The NTSB now investigating if weather or any other elements could have been a factor in this crash.
It was reported by witnesses that there was rain with some wintry mix. We are aware of media reports of some downed power lines near the accident site. We will be looking into this report.
All right, the 6 victims were flying in a helicopter made by Airbus model EC-130. The flight was operated by Orbic Air. It's a charter
Listen. Hold on, let me hear this one.
company based out of Burbank Airport. Orbic Air posting this video to Facebook 2 years ago of the same helicopter. However, we can't confirm whether it's the same one involved in this crash.
So, okay. All right. So you telling me that a Nigerian executive banker, and I did a little bit of research on this guy, and he's actually a significant figure. He's actually a really significant figure. But you telling me that this Nigerian businessman banker was killed in a helicopter crash on his way to the Super Bowl with his wife and his son in the car, and I'm just supposed to just believe that just happened? No, I'm not Nigerian. I'm just supposed to believe that happened. I'm just supposed to go along with that narrative and believe this story and say, oh man, accidents happen. Stop it. He was a top Nigerian banker. His name was Herbert, and he was the director of one of Nigeria's leading financial institutions, and he died in a crash. I don't believe it. I don't have any evidence to say otherwise. Otherwise, my theory wouldn't be much of a theory, would it? But I don't believe it at all. So the guy is a big deal. He's a huge big deal. He was speaking on this particular picture, apparently at the Global Citizens Live in Nigeria in 2021. He was a co-founder of Access Bank, Nigeria's largest bank by assets. Let's deep dive a little bit more. It says a helicopter carrying 6 people crashed and caught on fire on Friday night near the California-Nevada border, killing all those aboard, the authorities said. The victim included Herbert, a prominent Nigerian banker, and his wife and son, as well as Abimbola, another businessman. A Federal Aviation Administration said that the Eurocopter crashed around 10 p.m. local time, an unincorporated community about 60 miles south of Las Vegas, eastern San Bernardino County. The helicopter departed Palm Springs, California at 8:45. It was headed towards Boulder City, Nevada. The chartered flight crashed near Halloran Springs, California at 10:08 p.m., adding that all those aboard, the 2 crew members and 4 passengers, were killed. He said that the witnesses reported that the helicopter crashed amid a rainy and wintry conditions. I'd like to express my deepest sympathies to the families and loved ones of those who lost their lives in this terrible tragedy. Nigeria's president identified 4 victims as him, his wife, his kid, and another businessman. His passing is an overwhelming tragedy that is shocking beyond comprehension. Access Bank, where he was a director, first confirmed his death on Sunday morning, describing him in social media as a visionary leader whose impact will be forever felt. He was an alumnus of an executive program at Harvard Business School, was a key driver in the transformation of the bank into becoming one of Nigeria's leading financial institutions. He was the former chairman of the Nigerian Exchange Group, a financial holding company. The flight was operated by Orbic Air. And that's it. That's all they got. That's all they got of this guy. Let me continue over and see what the rest of this video says.
6 passengers inside the aircraft include the helicopter's crew, a pilot and a safety pilot, and the passengers. 57-year-old Herbert Wigwe, CEO of Access Bank, who was traveling with his wife and his son. The 4th passenger, Bamufin Ogunbanjo, the former chair of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now the president of Nigeria posting this message to social media, saying, "I am shocked and deeply distressed by the news of the passing of Mr. Wigwe, along with his wife and son and Mr. Ogunbanjo." Others calling the death of Herbert Wigwe a terrible blow for Nigeria and Africa's banking industry. The NTSB now looking to speak with anyone who might have seen Friday's fiery crash.
As far as we know, from what was reported from witnesses, that there was fire when the aircraft did contact the terrain. There were several 911 calls last night to report the crash from Interstate 15. And we'd like to ask any of those people that had witnessed that if they would reach out to us with any further information they may have, such as photos or anything of that sort.
Now, according to the NTSB, who says they're just starting this investigation, the aircraft did not have a cockpit voice recorder or a flight data recorder. And that is because those devices were not required on this type of aircraft.
Stop it. Stop it. No. You're not going to sit here and tell me that, oh, no, it didn't have a flight recorder. It didn't have any of this stuff. It wasn't required. Come on, man. You telling me 2 of the top most important businessmen, the wife and the kid, is all in a helicopter? I just don't think that it's, I just don't believe that it's just a coincidence. I don't believe that it's a coincidence. Honestly, I don't have any evidence. I can't substantiate my argument. I just don't believe. I think that when you start to get to a certain level and you start to play into the money game and a certain thing, and you talking about rising to power and the leading institution and the co-founder of one of the biggest asset holdings, it just so happened to not have no voice recorder or nothing. Come on, man. Come on, bro. I just don't believe. I believe that there's more to the story. John Best says black people love conspiracies. No, I just like to look into it a little bit deeper. See, at what point do it no longer become a conspiracy? Anything can literally be a conspiracy. Anything that you think is not what it is that they're presenting it to be could be a conspiracy, right? Some of the things that we evaluated on this channel that we're going to get into, for example, like Fani Willis. Is it a conspiracy that they're trying to keep certain candidates from being voted on for other reasons? Is it a conspiracy that certain things happen in life that then somehow, in some way, certainly happens this way? Is it a conspiracy that they're keeping the border open for alternate reason other than the fact that they just don't have the resources or the manpower in order to be able to protect the border? Listen, it's a conspiracy until it's not. And it doesn't hurt you to question, to understand the why, or to ask questions, because when you start to ask questions, then you can start to get to the bottom of it and you can solve for whatever issues that you may have or any questions that you may have about the situation. But listen, it's not a conspiracy. It's just a God gave us all of our senses, and I don't ignore some of my senses and just be like, oh man, no, I may not have the evidence behind it. I may not say that something was what it wasn't. I'm not going to say something happened to him that was outside of the norm, but you're not going to sit here. You're not going to sit here and tell me that I can't question it because it's a conspiracy. No, I'm just curious. I don't just sit here and take it at face value and be like, oh, shout out to my girl Mika. I don't just take it at face value and just be like, oh, no, it's just how it is that the news is presenting it. Bull crap. So I'll keep an eye on this. This is one of the stories that I want to keep an eye on because I'm always curious as to what's happening behind the scenes. Prayers up for his family. Prayers up for the people in Nigeria and the impact that this is going to leave on y'all. I don't know what impact or what deal or what could be happening behind the scenes, but it is what it is.